IVM.
Free kicks are great, but have you ever received a free cashback on a credit card bill payment? What if we told you that you can win a full cashback on your payment? During the IPL, pay all your credit card bills in the Power Play overs and stand a chance to win 100% cashback. Download Cred.
Wow, with the magic of internet, we are now live on so many platforms. You can find us on Twitch, you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on other live platforms that I can't remember immediately. Welcome to Football Shootball episode 29. 29 used to be the number of Marwan Shamak, who was as mediocre as they come. Today's episode has a lot about mediocrity, so you've been warned. Well, talk about mediocre. Let's welcome my guests. Sorry, my co-hosts. I keep mixing that up. I have co-hosts. It's just not me. It's not about me all the time. Let's start with our resident, our Vadala resident, actually, not resident of Vadala. The human, which is the example of what is the difference between someone who's educated and someone who's literate. Sapre, say hello.
Hello. Which one am I? Literate, I hope.
We'll leave that to the imagination of the audience. And all the way from Bangalore with lesser COVID numbers than Bombay, Karthik Iyer, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Very well, in fact.
Okay. For that extra information, we don't charge you guys if you're listening. If you're also listening to us on the podcast, we do a live. So you can just jump on, tell us if you have any questions. You have the opportunity to ask us live. Of course, if you don't want to see our faces, you can always tweet to us, #FootballShootball.
Or you can do the other thing. You come on live, you ask a question, and then you see if it's made the final edit or not. That's a thrill in itself.
Yes. So like I said, this will be one of those mediocre episodes where we have very little to talk about because there weren't enough games on the weekend.
And I'll tell you what, Shivra, everyone has been behaving very mediocrely, if that's a word, from normal society to the football world, I think over the past few days. Chalo, let's leave
normal
it at
society, footballing society,
Yeah.
UEFA society,
My housing society also.
my housing society. Yeah, it's been terrible all around. Hopefully, whoever's listening, watching us is staying safe. Mask up. It's very important. Wear 2 masks if you have to. And if you have to venture out, make sure you're safe. But apart from that, a lot of stuff has happened, and this episode is called Golmaal again because this is, I think, the third or the fourth time this is coming up. You'll see why. Let's quickly cut into a break, and then we can talk about so many things. There's the European Super League, which is turning out to be not so super. There is, of course, the amazing Spurs ex-manager, who we will deep dive into, and some other smaller things that we are coming up, like the Europa League. And of course, there's the Champions League, which is, not just the Champions League anymore. It could be anyone. I think PSG is going to win this anyway. But more on that soon. We'll quickly cut into some of the messages that Amit has to share, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, TheWholeTruthFoods.com, PayPal, Cred, and SIAT. Thank you so much for working with us. We really appreciate it. First up this week, let me tell you about Cyrus Says. We featured popular YouTuber and actor Prajakta Kohli, who took us through a journey of content creation. We also had conversations with Vasanthi Hariprakash and Sachin Kalbag this week. Really great conversations. Do check those out. Vineet Kanabar goes solo this time on Storytellers and Storysellers as he talks about his favorite IPL ads and how brands have been making content around the Cricket League. On The Habit Coach, Ashton was joined by Arjun and Somesh of the Fighting Goat podcast to talk about fitness for combat sports like the mixed martial arts. On Nankari, Sadaf and Archit discussed the diet and lifestyle of athletes with the host of the Millennial Athlete, Shok Ramchandra, who is also a pro badminton player and coach. Ambarana opens the 4th season of Know Your Kanun with a list of things he has planned on the show for us, including episodes on immigration law and on career prospects for law students. The IPL season's on and we've definitely got you covered. Tune into the Edges and Sledges podcast if you're looking for English, and if you're looking to listen to something in Hindi, definitely check out Khel Neeti. Both are great shows with great takes. And with that, let me get you back to your show.
Who would have thought, right, that you, Shivram, you went into a rant last week about Jose Mourinho, and Daniel Levy's put on his, I'm sure he has an iPhone, so Apple Music, iTunes podcast, whatever it's called. And he heard our episode and he's like, fire, Jose. It's all because of you going on 10 minutes at a stretch about Mourinho and how he's a has-been.
I don't know if you remember these. I think it was NDTV or it was some other news channel. So they would break a story, and then when like the government or the officials would actually do something, they'll do a follow up, like a Shark Tank follow up. Like where are they now? It's called the Times Now Impact or the NDTV Impact. So this is the football impact. And actually, we've been back from the break for a long time now. Karthik started because we can. This is the football impact. Let's start with Jose Mourinho because I think that's an easier discussion to have. And before we delve into the Super League or what does that mean, we have one expert among us. You'll find out which one is the expert. We'll keep you guessing. It's not me. I'll give you that. But let's talk about Jose Mourinho. And before that, let's talk about the game that happened. Everton played Spurs 2-2. Kane limped off at the end of the game. Spurs looked threatening at points, but Everton they had the answer to everything Spurs could throw at them. Let's start with Sapre, who's an expert on just, drawing games. Sapre, tell us, what do you think is going to be the strategy? Because I did ask you, what is up with Kane? You had a couple of answers. Let's see if we can hold a cohesive thought for more than a minute.
Firstly, you're wrong when I say that we draw games and we are good at drawing. We played fantastically, albeit against Burnley, but we did games that were supposed to draw. We are winning. That's where we are. And before Kane, actually, and before the match, you said, right, that this is the easier discussion to have. It's also the easy decision to be made to just sack Mourinho, seeing what he's doing or he's not doing with the team. With regards to the match in itself, Spurs were extremely, extremely lucky to get those 2 goals. 2 defensive errors from Michael Keane, costed them those. Good finishes, no doubt about it, but they were just lucky. They didn't create enough chances. I think a draw was a fair result at the end of the day. And the sacking was also a fair result at the end of the day, I think.
Okay, so let's park that thought. I'll come back to you. Karthik, Sapre says it was the easiest decision to make to sack Mo. And Mo has a lot of history behind him, a lot of respect, which he's expecting coming his way all the time. He's won a lot of titles, even though it was with different players, quote unquote. What do you think? Was it as easy? Because Mo seems to have this habit of, he'll make his salary over 6 months and then he'll get all of it at the end of the 6 months in a severance. And this has happened many times over. Sapre has seen it firsthand. So what do you think? Is that easier decision to make to sack your manager, especially when it's Mourinho?
Daniel Levy is a brilliant businessman. And here's where I think this has come from. Spurs, I think, play the League Cup final next week or the week after at some point.
This weekend
in front of, I think, a few fans as well.
Oh, I don't know where you're going.
That 30 million is his, they have to pay his payoff because he got sacked. I have a feeling that would have increased if he wins any trophy in his contract. So they made this decision before giving him a chance to take more out of the club.
I don't think winning League Cup trophy was part of anybody's contract, especially
but maybe it's
just a trophy.
Naming thing, right? Like then Mourinho will come out and say, "No, you promised me."
They hired a trophy manager. What more trophies do you want at the club, right? It was a very clear indication they wanted to get in the Champions League. This is a team who played the Champions League final, still had a decent team, right? Kane extended his contract, all of that. After all of it, this is where this Spurs team... I don't think a League Cup does any change to Mourinho's fortunes or to the Spurs' fortunes. And now they don't care because they're part of this ESL or whatever.
Don't jump the gun. We have a friend of the podcast, Yash Mehta, who's listening, watching to us talk, which he does anyway on a weekly basis. He says Jose to Arsenal. So apart from that blasphemous thought, we'll just move on. We won't address it.
He's not had enough of the football world already burning currently. And he wants to add more fuel.
No, but that's right. Yeah, right? At least Arsenal will be guaranteed European football with Mourinho there. No?
Okay,
so let's move on.
We should. Ideally, I was not even going to say. I was just going to move on. Karthik, so there are different lines of thought here. What you're saying is absolutely right when you say it was just a shrewd business decision. Instead of giving 32, 33, 34 million, he said 30 mein kata lete hain. Instead of, a Carling Cup, which is, as Sapre puts it, McDonald's Cup. It's that easy. I think it's easy for McDonald's also because mill बैठेंगे 3 यार आप में और Mourinho. Sorry, that is bagpiper. Sorry, Sapre, my bad. But that is one way of doing it. My question is more towards how can you sack Mourinho? Because you've done an Amazon Prime special with him. It's got like 13 episodes. So clearly there was that intention of keeping him. Amazon Prime, that entire series is PR. right?
Mhm.
And he's basically the protagonist of the PR. So clearly they had plans for him and not.
Or the plan, Shivram, was, and you know this for a fact, that the plan was to hire him because only then Amazon will do a documentary on you. Nobody wants to sit and listen to Harry Kane for a few hours,
I
right?
agree,
For 8
especially
hours of.
it's. I have this, like when I hear him talk, I have this out of body feeling, like where his voice doesn't match what I can
Yeah.
see, and it's really weird. Sapre, so you're saying Mourinho was easy to sack, right? That's been happening for a while. I think Lampard set a precedent for everyone that he let go before they went to the European Super League. Do you think Mourinho would have done well in the European Super League?
I'm sure if that happens, Mourinho will come back as one of the managers of one of those teams. If not the 13, 14, there are these still 5 teams that they're debating. Could be Porto, could be anybody, could be Celtic. Mourinho, I don't think cares anymore about which club he manages. And 30 million figure will reduce. I don't know how drastically if they don't qualify for the Champions League as well, which now Daniel Levy is sure that they will not. And so it's not, and also it's about cutting your losses. If United has taught Spurs anything, it's just cut your losses.
That is true. Spurs actually have, I think, more losses than Aston Villa this year, if I'm not wrong. Like, imagine that. That sounds weird, right? Okay, so just last thought on this. Karthik, Kane hobbled off the pitch.
Mhm.
And if you would listen to his teammates, he never hobbles off. So if he's hobbled off, it's a real injury. What do you think? I mean, they have a midweek game against Southampton. A lot of us are banking on him. I mean, this is possibly the last season of Fantasy Football League in the way we knew it, the way it exists. They play the Carling Cup final against City, who have just come off a loss against Chelsea. We'll talk about that in a second. Where do you think and then of course they have, I think, do they have anything left? Champions League?
So they're pretty much, I think they would be out of that, right? I think they're 5 points behind West Ham, having played a game more as well. And there are plenty of clubs in the middle as well. It's not just West Ham that they have to overtake. So it's done, man. I think they're getting Mason Ryan to come in as temporary manager. I think he was the next player for them as well until the end of the season. I don't know who they're going to go for. I honestly don't know. The Spurs are in limbo. Maybe they need the European Super League the most.
Fair enough. I think Arsenal needs it more than Spurs does. Sapre, where does Kane go from here? Will anyone? I mean, he's spent a lot of his life at Spurs performing so well. He's been a Golden Boot contender for quite a few years now. He hasn't won it, but he has been pretty good. He's been scoring again this year. Where does he go? Does anyone want him?
Go on. You were saying last episode that I think Kane is 28. Nobody will really go for him. I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. I would still say that whoever doesn't get Braut Haaland will go for Harry Kane.
So between United, who is one of the, I mean, I'm guessing bidders, or City is one of the bidders, or so basically between City and United, one of them will end up with Kane, is what it is.
Or maybe Real Madrid.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is a different opinion from where we ended up last time. Okay. So let's park Spurs. I don't think we need to speak any more about Spurs. Mourinho, I think, done and dusted. We'll wait to see what his presser comes up with. Who can he blame now? He's blamed the linesman, the referees, the ball, the pitch, the players, the manager. Not the manager. His manager.
Has he blamed COVID yet?
I'm guessing that's just understood. Like, that is in the background, like one of the things you can blame. Like, COVID to hai hi, uske alawa players are not doing well. It's like that. Like, the tone of argument is very different. Cool. So let's move on to the next game, and I'll quickly walk through this. Karthik, how do you feel? I think you should stop watching Fulham playing stoppage time, because I think they also stop watching themselves playing stoppage time. Second goal in 2 games.
8 minutes is harsh. It's very harsh. Arsenal would not need 8 minutes, even 2 minutes, they would have still scored that goal against Fulham.
So saying cut us, like give us lesser minutes of Arsenal versus Fulham.
Yeah,
anyway, you're going to score.
Give players a rest, no? So many matches coming up.
Karthik, just raw emotion, just spill it out quickly, a minute, all yours.
I was not feeling anything really. Quite
my God,
honestly,
numb.
Yeah.
I've become so numb.
And that was not because of Fulham's performances. It's because I realized that football died not when they came up with the concept of the European Super League. Football died when Newcastle decided to start playing it and winning matches, which really gave us then no hope in any world to really survive relegation. I've been banking on that last game versus Newcastle since the start of the
Long
season,
time.
probably. Yeah. And now they seem to be 7 points ahead or 6 points ahead. How does that make sense or is fair in any
They did beat West Ham 3-2 somehow.
Yeah, man.
There's
West Ham
just
also gifted the first 2 goals.
one player that's making the difference for Newcastle. Unfortunately, you've changed your stance on many players in Fulham and started with Mitrovic will do everything, and then you went on a Maja and started screaming when he scored those goals when they came in. Eventually ended up at some Robinson, Anderson. I don't even know these players, right? They don't have...
Hey, Joachim Anderson, United is in for him.
United is in for everybody. But I am not even going to support Fulham now. Shivram and I will hope that Newcastle go down and Fulham stay up. But after that result, definitely. You concede in stoppage time, and that too against Arsenal. I mean, it would have made me so much happier had Fulham won.
No,
the game
I
that
give
got away
it to
from.
him. What, the last 3 games, we have dropped 7 points in the last 15 minutes of each game. You don't deserve to stay up. I'm numb to it. Like, it's fine.
Oh my God, we've turned a corner.
But I was always happy when Fulham were in the championship because I go weekends with actual victories. I don't want to go an entire season and see them 2 or 3 wins the entire year, right?
What's the point of the joy if you have nobody to share it with?
What's the point of a pizza?
But there are these illegal streaming sites where you can share it with those. I'm guessing it's only dudes on those sites who comment on those
They'll
sites.
take your credit card info also. What about, you want to share that also? But anyway,
but it's
I mean,
it's
at
done,
least
man.
the one thing I think is off your plate is you don't have to worry about the European Super League. I mean, that is a weight off your chest, right? I mean,
I don't have to show outrage.
you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I mean, it's Fulham to begin with. So how bad could it be? Anyway, we spent more time on Fulham than we did on the spectacular game that is lined up tonight, Leeds versus Liverpool. Let's do a quick prediction because today I don't think we need FPL. It's in the middle of the week.
Fine.
It is a long time to go for FPL. Let's talk about predictions. Karthik, tell me Leeds versus Liverpool. It's going to be bonkers. I'm hoping because it's at 12:30 a.m. right on a school night. It
Mhm.
better be bonkers if I'm staying up. Your total cannot be less than 5 goals. Give me a prediction.
Less than 5 goals. Okay, then Liverpool 4, Leeds 2.
Oh, okay. So convincing victory for Liverpool and
I think so.
Leeds score.
I think they're playing well. The Real Madrid result aside, I think in the league they've got some form together, and I think they'll do well. And now they have this goal of the Champions League. There's at least something. They're not just ending the season because they need to end it, right? There is something for them to play. West Ham did lose, so there is a gap to make up. So yeah, I see Liverpool winning.
Sapre.
Yeah, Liverpool 4-1, I guess.
Oh, wow. You're sticking with the brief. Exactly one more than what I asked for. Very nice. You must be an agency partner in some company. Cool. So let's wrap up EPL with a final thought. And let's start with Ayyar because Ayyar will have a more unbiased opinion. 2012 in May, the final minute, Balotelli passes to Aguero. Aguero slots it past the QPR keeper. I don't remember his name. Alex Ferguson and team are waiting at Old Trafford. I think they've just beaten Sunderland, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Mhm.
Or are they at the Stadium of Light? I
They're
don't
at the
remember
Stadium of
properly.
Light.
Stadium of
They're at
Light.
the- yeah.
Yeah, so they're waiting, watching because their game got over earlier. And actually, City were trailing to QPR 1-0. And then they
2-1
scored
in fact.
2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they scored 2. Aguero brings it home. And if you can just look for Aguero and then it automatically comes up. Like just add more rows and it shows up in your Google result. It's for whatever, intents and purposes. It's the exact same situation now
Mhm.
with 6 games to go and 8 points trailing. This is literally what happened. Can history repeat itself except the other way around? Do you think that's possible? Can United bid for the title?
Yeah. No.
For a moment, I thought you were saying yes.
No.
Why no? Tell us why. Why don't you want the final EPL season to end in a romantic?
Hey, it's not the final EPL
Finish.
season. You guys better watch even when only Fulham are there and neither of your clubs are there. Okay? It is still the Premier League.
No, we'll come to the European shit league. That is the big deal.
Hmm.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean, this is just trying to get your hopes up when there is none. I think it's okay. Maybe
It has happened.
Yeah. It has happened, and maybe it could again. And the reason it could is I don't know next week fixtures, but if City are in fact they're playing like you said the weekend game which is a cup final. So that'll have United probably give them a chance to come even closer, despite the fact
Yeah.
that they've played more games. So maybe psychologically the pressure is on. So yeah, why not? Let's have some fun. At least okay, let it go into the last day of the season with something at stake. Yeah. Maybe United need to win by a clear 5 goals and City need to lose, and City are losing and United are 4-0 up and they get a Bruno Fernandes penalty in the 95th minute. The final whistle goes and the referee this time says no penalty. I blew the final whistle.
And then he gives a penalty. Calls
No, he does
everyone
not.
back, gives 5 penalties.
No.
This United we're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for like a justice,
So
some justice. in the
basically,
world.
tears, Sapre's tears is what you're hoping for. Sapre, tell us, what do you think? Honestly, I mean, if there is something called an unbiased United fan opinion, show us what it is.
Oh, United will definitely win the league. That's an unbiased view of what United fans think. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I am hoping now that De Bruyne is injured. He'll definitely not play in the league before the final. So, I mean, that's if they drop points there, then there's a good chance. But there's a 15-point goal difference, and City won that title with goal difference in 2012, right? So 15
True.
points is slightly difficult to overcome. But then again, right? United.
Who do you
fans
play
are
next? Who does United play next?
I don't know, yeah. I mean, whoever we've beaten City, we don't really care.
United play Leeds. It'll be a goal fest, 16-0. You'll
but
figure it out then.
Yeah. But City has to lose their next match that they're playing. With
City only have, I mean, for whatever it's worth, they only have 2 real tough challenges coming up front. There's Chelsea at some point in time, I think in 3-4 weeks. Then there's also Tottenham. Tottenham, I don't know anymore.
Oh, they're playing
But it's
Villa.
a big 6.
They're playing Villa without.
No,
Kevin
Villa is only
Prince.
hard for Arsenal. You're mixing up clubs.
And Liverpool.
Yeah, and Liverpool.
And
as well.
Liverpool. Hey, they beat them. On aggregate, they lost, yes, but they beat them 2-1.
So without.
But United are playing Liverpool
Yeah.
after Leeds.
I mean, 0-0. No? So, I mean, what can you expect?
I think Liverpool, like Karthik said, might be on the upturn. It'll be funny if Liverpool suddenly have a better chance than you do.
Liverpool has been on the upturn for the past few seasons, and it's not that they've always
You
overshadowed
also have the
United.
Europa League to worry about. You're playing Roma before and after. So 30th April is United Roma. 1st May, Labor Day, is United Liverpool. And again, 7th May is Roma United.
If
So
it
you're
if it
jammed.
helps though, back to our predictions for tonight, Vinay Joshi says Liverpool 2, Leeds 3. So he's gotten the 5 goals as well. But he is
Oh,
going
not
for
bad, Vinay.
he's going for a Leeds United victory. Which
I'm
means
going to go with him and I'm going to say 4-2 to Leeds, just for the fun of it. I think Leeds are on their day, but they are missing
Oh,
Rafinha,
wow.
now that I think of it. But okay, let's go with 4-2 for Leeds. Sorry, Sapre, come back to you.
No, also the defender that got carded, was he?
Cooper?
The captain.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Cooper. I don't remember
Liam,
first name.
Liam Cooper.
Liam Cooper.
Yeah, so he's also out. So, yeah.
Struik will play. Struik.
I mean, they can score. City didn't really play great football. They didn't play great football also against Chelsea. They were very lethargic. Liverpool, I don't think are going to be the same. They've lost out on the Champions League. There's no hope. There's no cups. They have to finish in the top 4. Imagine a team winning the title and winning the Champions League and then not even finishing in the Champions League spots is going to be embarrassing. Plus, they've got players back at least. Now with Jota's back and Mane's on the bench, I'm sure they'll do well.
Yeah, maybe Mane will start and Jota will come off the bench because I've benched him on my FPL. Karthik, City, Chelsea. Any thoughts? I mean, I don't want to spend too much time. Tuchel ball is a thing. They've only lost one game. One game against West Brom.
West Brom 5-2. But they were
Yeah.
10 men. They were
Chelsea City. Chelsea beat City 1-0.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good result.
Cool.
Yeah. No, but there's a good stat there about Chelsea. I think Tuchel having beaten all his managers of all the other big clubs without even conceding a goal.
Hey, he hasn't beaten Arteta yet. What are you doing? Hold your tongue.
without conceding a goal as well. So yeah, he's doing well. And yeah, I mean, it's a Leicester versus Chelsea is the final, if I'm not mistaken, of the prestigious FA Cup, the oldest trophy in the world. So I'm guessing, yeah, that's good.
Arsenal have won it the most number of times, 14. Just
Yeah.
so I know neither of you asked, but you should know.
A good,
Okay,
good
cool.
stat. The last time was when Oba dropped it as well, right? That hilarious.
Yeah, that was this year. Oh, sorry,
This
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a long time ago. Oba has dropped many things since then. Okay, cool. So going back to why this episode is called Golmaal again, right?
Hmm.
And one of you is an expert and who will now put up his hand and explain to us and our listeners and viewers and whoever's in between what it means to be a part of the European Super League. What is the European Super League? What is the problem? Why is everyone up in arms? What is happening? Why do I need to care about it? Can someone tell?
Well, I'll
So
I'll give it a shot. No, I'm not going to give you the
I thought
opportunity
Karthik
to
was going for
explain.
it.
I haven't read a single piece. I have only read a few tweets, and I can probably I'm practicing Gary Neville's speech yesterday for a monologue for my next audition.
But you can clearly.
You've got a season and a half of football schedule without watching any football match. I mean, come on.
But he's very particular about if it's Slavia Prague or if it's Spartak Moscow. He's like, he will get every name right.
No, but
he doesn't watch football.
It was Sparta Prague or Slavia Prague. You can't, they're like next to each other. What if we call Arsenal Spurs? Yeah.
They're not next to each other.
I'm sure they are. Their names are both in Prague. So definitely they're in Prague. So
Spartak Moscow.
No, there is a Sparta Prague. You kept saying Sparta Prague. You got half the name right, but you got half the name wrong.
It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Because the person in front of me didn't know which one was right. So it doesn't matter. He was agreeing. Anyway, sorry, we cut you. You were taking a shot. Let's start. 101.
So
ESL 101.
This is the new IPL of football.
Let me cut you right there. It's the ICL to begin with. Now go.
No, it's the IPL. It's the teams that are the best teams with a lot of money. Nobody gets relegated. Have a lot of audiences watching their matches. And that's about it. Who cares what happens? In India, we'll still watch those matches. We don't care really. So we're all armchair activists. It wouldn't matter. And it's not even about money. UEFA is screaming because they are going to lose revenues. I don't think they care about the football pyramid as a lot of them have suggested.
I'm stopping you. You are making 30,000 feet comments for people who already know what is happening. We want an explainer. Someone to tell us what is happening.
Why would you want that when everybody knows what it is?
I have so many people reaching out to me saying, can you explain this? Mitchell, I was looking for 101.
Okay, then I maybe
let's look at Karthik now. Karthik does a really good job of explaining.
Correct.
So 101 is extremely easy. This proposal has been around for quite some time. Most of the owners have denied it previously. And now yesterday, 6 clubs in England, which are the top 6. I'm not going into the names. 3 in Spain, the top 3, Madrid, Barca and Atletico. 3 in Italy, again the top 3, the 2 Milan clubs and Juventus. So that's 12 clubs in total have signed up for a European Super League where they will play, I think, in Europe, apart from wanting to play in their local leagues as well. They do not want to leave the Premier League. They do not want to leave Serie A. They do not want to leave La Liga. But they only want to play against each other in something that is an equivalent or a replacement to the Champions League as it is currently. Because I think where it's coming from is that they don't see any benefit in when you don't qualify for it, like a lot of clubs miss out on. Especially these big ones. Like Milan have missed out so many years in a row. I think 8 seasons now. The last time Inter were in contention was last season after a gap of around 8 seasons. Arsenal are not going to be unless this proposal goes. And same with Spurs, even though they reached the final a few years ago. So these clubs miss out. And I think even for the clubs that qualify season on season, like, I don't know, Real Madrid or Barcelona, they're always finishing in the top 2, right? They don't see value in playing a Molde in the group stages of the Champions League. A club from Norway or a club from wherever Prague is, the Czech Republic, in the group stages. There is no value in that. So they want to form a league where they will play each other. You'll get Liverpool versus Real Madrid twice a season guaranteed. You don't have to wait 6-7 years between the 2 matches.
This is basically everyone who owns a bat said, "Hum sab saath mein khelenge," is what happened. So they went into conference and we'll make our own Super League.
On the other side, UEFA has also proposed changes to the Champions League, which if you're thinking UEFA are the good guys here, they're not. Because those changes will increase it from 32 to 36 clubs. Currently, it's at 32. A lot of it will remain the same, but those extra 4 spots are for, quote-unquote, historic clubs that have done well in European competitions. So maybe an Arsenal could apply, having reached the final during one season. If they don't qualify, they could apply. So UEFA are doing something similar. And it must be noted that you would assume that these 12 clubs, they want actually 15, so you need 3 more. PSG and both Dortmund and Bayern have said no to the ESL currently, but this is only as we're speaking today. These thoughts and opinions and facts can change very, 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 very soon. And so have Porto. Porto have also said no. They are also a club that has done extremely well in Europe.
Fantastic. Now, Sapre, over to you. Tell us your takeaways from what Karthik just explained.
No, I have no takeaways. I have just one single opinion. Firstly, I think the UEFA president, the vice president, has let out a statement saying that players who or clubs who participate in the Super League, their players will not get a chance to play for the national teams. So that is the big bone of contention. It's going to come down essentially to the players, right? I'm sure if these clubs, well, for almost every player, be from a country like Germany or from an Ireland or wherever, I think the dream of playing for their country and winning the World Cup or the Euros or whatever that cup tournament is, if that is not allowed, then it could be a challenge even for the clubs, because they've realized they can make money without the fans in the stadium, but it's just a little more difficult to make money without the best players that you have. So that might be a concern. That will also affect how the transfers happen over the next 2 seasons as well. So there's still, I think, proposals being floated. They'll come together. I'm sure they'll find a middle path because UEFA needs these bigger clubs as well. They are not that if they bar them, they're going to make as much money as they're doing right now. That's not going to happen. So I'm sure they'll find a middle path. They're all rich people. Yeah, eventually they'll come up with a solution.
The reason why I said Golmaal again is because I'm guessing like none of us were able to obviously guess what was happening then. But when the modern era of football started, when Premier League started, do you think they had a similar reaction to change? This is basically change in more ways than one. Some of it is moving away from what is happening for a really long time now. Do you think this is one of those things where you can't see the obvious and maybe it's for the better of football and we just don't know it yet? Is it one of those things?
I think the main difference lies in that point of relegation where you can't be knocked down. You all were making comparisons to IPL and ICL. I don't see it in either. It is in fact in our Indian Super League. This is exactly what the Indian Super League is. We always had a national league, the I League or the national conference as it used to be called earlier. We came in with the Indian Super League. There were 8 franchises like the IPL model. They came in, there is no relegation in this, and then they're slowly inviting clubs to be part of it, like a Mohan Bagan and East Bengal who have joined recently, Bangalore FC who joined a few years ago. There is no relegation in the Indian Super League as well. So there's no give or take. Another thing is money made by these clubs in the Premier League always trickles down to clubs in the Championship, League 1, League 2, League 3. That will continue as long as they're still in the Premier League. But if you throw an Arsenal out, the Premier League can't afford to do that. They can't afford to throw these 6 clubs out and say that, okay, you're banned from playing. Where will the money come from then? Yeah. The rest of the football suffers if you end up doing that. So
I've also heard, that's a very good takeaway and the comparison's really on point. I've heard some conversation about banning these players from the Euros. That seems a little harsh because it's not club football. You're representing your country. But of course, it's the same governing body.
Yeah.
Which is why I actually compared it to the ICL. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this controversy where players in the ICL were actually banned from participating in other leagues or their national squads or something like that.
BCCI basically told everyone that whoever plays in the ICL, no board can select them for their, and BCCI is all powerful. So they got away with saying that as well. But that's a threat at this moment. And like you said, it's different conferences. I don't see how, like, for example, PSG are simply not joining this because I think currently they want to be with FIFA, at least seen under the umbrella of FIFA/UEFA as well until the Qatar World Cup.
Yeah.
That is important to note. So PSG are not doing this from the good of their heart, as much ever Ander Herrera likes to think that they probably are.
How dare you say Ander Herrera is not being truthful?
I don't know what to make of this. I'm not outraged because I follow neither of these clubs. I wouldn't mind. I would still watch wherever Fulham are playing. I would still try and catch up with all those games. I would catch up with the ESL as well if it's called that. If it's called the European Super League, I would watch those games. It would just dilute it for me. Like to watch. I remember that one season where we had 6 El Clasicos in the league, in the Champions League 2, in the League 2, and then 2 cups also they played each other. It just got dull towards the end. How much of that? So it's only my interest will probably go down. If they played on the weekday nights as our time, it may still be fun. It may not hold the same charm, but I'm sure 20 years later, we'll probably be sitting here and talking about ESL like it's the best tournament ever created. And we're seeing football that we have never seen before because you will get I think the player thing will work out. I don't think banning players is going to happen. And this is a completely different point simply because I think people who watch football these days, after us, like after this John Dykes generation, the next in countries that are growing like in India, like the rest of Asia as well, they follow more players than they do clubs. Like you become obsessed, you become fans of players as marketing tools, as athletes, as opposed to having this love of a club and you never walk alone and all that jazz.
Okay, that was very heartfelt. Thank you, Karthik. Felt deep. I feel like we actually made a dent in the universe suddenly.
I don't know if it was because quite honestly, I don't know what to feel. I can feel somewhat empty, but it doesn't.
It starts from Fulham. I think the problem starts.
Yeah, exactly. So the only club that I love, that I'll be passionate about, that I'll probably indulge in some hooliganism if it was socially acceptable, was Fulham.
For Fulham?
Okay. But then this doesn't, it's fine. They'll have their proposals. They'll probably end up doing it as well. We're going to watch it, like you said at the start. I don't think we're going to switch off Star Sports tomorrow because they come up with a European Super League. I think they're doing this for greed. Everyone knows it. I really don't know how else to solve it. I wish it didn't happen.
Gordon Gekko, greed, for the lack of a better word, is good. IPL पे रोज आता है यार. धोनी बोलते हैं. So what is wrong? What is wrong with making more money?
Yeah, it's so sad to see him, a shell of himself. Yeah, today he scored 18 in 17 balls. It was a struggle. I do not know why Chennai Super Kings are sending him over Sam Curran, man. I'm the biggest Dhoni fan in the world, but Sam Curran is sitting there and you're sending Dhoni for 3 overs. Like, it doesn't make sense, yeah.
It's his bat.
He goes very hard. He's the ESL in CSK.
Yeah. But I think the whole European Super League, the easiest decision was for City because they don't have to consult with fans because they don't have any, right?
Ouch.
And the current version of City is because of the enormous amount of money that's been pumped into the club. So no one can deny the fact that money brings you glory in terms of trophies, etc. But they also get you the best of the players. And I think UEFA didn't take it seriously because the initial proposal was to get this running, I think 2025 or maybe a year after that. But the bigger clubs are hit so badly with COVID right now, the finances. I think so it's a panic reaction saying players will be banned from national teams and you can't play any other competitions. I'm sure they'll find a middle path. And all your Skies and BT Sports, everybody else who is now against it will be the first ones to pitch for the broadcasting rights. And all of them
will be pitching in parallel for all.
Yeah, and I'm guessing all of them will lose because we've got a social media platform that's been streaming a league for almost a year now, and they've been doing a decent job of it. So, and sure, your Amazons of the world and will take this up if with better rates because these clubs have come up with some estimation of how much money they can make. Right now, when you go in make such comments in public, I'm sure they've had some back of the hand calculation and some initial. Correct. So I think it was just so brazenly that they came out. UEFA just panicked and has said.
And it was clearly planned.
Everything is planned.
That is also true. The one thing I'm worried about is Arsenal. Because see, now if they don't get relegated, they have nothing to win. They'll finish 10th there also. Okay? So nothing will change.
Vinay Joshi comments again. What is Arsenal doing in the Super League? Biggest joke, laugh emoji. Shivram, he's really either he doesn't like you or he's just taking the mick out of Arsenal.
If I wanted to, I would have responded. But it's true. I just said Arsenal will finish 10th even in the Super League. And the problem is then, I get everything else. But it's just like it's a fail-safe. Right? There's no relegation.
Yeah.
Next year.
We get it, and I think we're being too nice to anyway this rich pill. After all, it's not the best idea. it takes away the idea of competition.
Yeah.
It takes away a lot from a level playing field. These clubs, what will end up happening is if they're in the Premier League and they play this, they will make so much money in this. There is no way the Premier League itself will remain competitive. There's no way La Liga will remain competitive. And anyway, it isn't now. It isn't currently a level playing field.
Yeah.
Imagine the amount of money that will come from this. They'll buy every single best player if they're playing so many more games than they are across the world, even the ones at the second run or the third rung, and then you will just have basically 6 clubs in the Premier League and 14 others trying for those last 14 spots. So
that used to happen at some point in time.
While we tried to on this podcast, we tried to give why they're doing it. It is not necessarily for the best of a sport that that you have grown up enjoying and
Is
loving
it
for?
a short-sighted decision or is it a bargaining chip for something else?
I would say short-sighted because these owners probably want to sell their clubs once they're
Yeah,
valued at a
I'm
certain more.
sure they will. Yeah.
Oh, this is exit strategy.
Yeah,
This is
no,
your
I mean,
story.
I'm not
brought to you by
exactly
your
saying
story.
that, but as an owner, what you try and value a club higher, like your business higher.
No, I get this is
Yeah.
basically investment.
Or
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
the
You're
other
trying to
what is the
raise-
other thing that Stalin was known for? It basically, when you know you're losing, you just destroy everything around you. So the next person who comes in has a big rebuilding job to do. Maybe it's the
Hmm.
other way as well.
I don't know, some Marxist books he's referring to.
I think he's saying build things so the other person will come and destroy it. I don't know what.
Just yeah.
Correct,
That
Stalin,
reminds me,
Stalin.
but on Instagram, there's this Rasputin challenge. Not on Instagram, generally in the world going on.
In life, there is a Rasputin challenge.
Yeah. But there was some
In
really nice
Kerala,
from
in
Thrissur, yeah?
Kerala, there is a Rasputin challenge which is on Reels on Instagram.
Right. That's
Continue.
That's,
Aren't we
Yes, tell
going
us.
through the Rasputin challenge since March of 2020?
Arey baapre, he's making these socio-economic jokes, man. No one understands apre.
I'm talking about COVID anyway. Chalo.
I know these are very, very heavy.
Yes.
We
No,
didn't take.
disappointed me again.
Do we look like we've taken sociology or psychology or what did you
I-
take? Physiology.
Bro, I took
I got
sociology
a
and
mediocre-
psychology for 2 years of my college career.
So I started with educated and literate ke beech mein difference.
So look, I mean,
We'll come to that.
eventually this is a mediocre podcast, right? So it
Yeah,
doesn't matter what your academic qualifications are.
Mediocre leagues, mediocre people, mediocre podcast. Lucky. Cool. So let's take a quick break. We've spoken a lot about mediocrity. Let's come back and try and up-level this. We'll be right back.
2020 is a difficult year. A global pandemic, protests, elections, recessions. You get the picture. What we need is a space where we can have nuanced discussions about global affairs and foreign policy. That's where I come in. My name is Hamsini Hariharan and I host the States of Anarchy podcast. Every second Tuesday, I speak to experts in the field of international relations to make a little more sense of the world. So join me on the IVM podcast app, website, or wherever you're listening to me right now.
And we're back. Episode 29, Football. Parting words. There's a lot of football coming. What are your predictions for the Europa League? Arsenal thrashed Slavia Prague. Sapre, what are your predictions for the games that are coming?
Which are the games? Like Champions League games?
Champions League, let's talk about
Bundesliga,
what is within our reach, this mediocre podcast. Let's talk about Europa League where Arsenal and United actually have a shot.
Yeah, they are going to play the finals, right? I mean, Chelsea City versus Arsenal and United. I mean, that's the power of the Premier League.
Oh, Chelsea City there and Arsenal United here.
You're saying Chelsea will beat who?
Who are Chelsea playing? I keep forgetting. PSG?
Chelsea playing Madrid.
PSG, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Madrid. Chelsea will beat Madrid and City
Right.
will beat PSG.
Oh, absolutely.
What have you been drinking?
I'm telling you.
Have you watched these other Madrid and have you seen Madrid and PSG play?
I have. Have you seen Chelsea play? Right?
I have. They lost 5-2 to West Brom. They beat City 1-0 because half their team wasn't interested and the other
Yeah.
half was injured.
I
KDB is
know.
injured. You just said how United have a chance, but they will beat PSG with Neymar and Mbappe.
I know. And you're right. It's difficult to predict. But the Arsenal United final is the easier one.
You're saying Roma
Yeah,
will just
I don't see an Arsenal
flop
United final.
over
I'm
and then-
pretty sure Roma are qualifying for the final.
Roma, Arsenal.
Yeah, I
Arsenal have beaten
think Arsenal
Villarreal twice
should-
before.
Playing
get
Unai
past Villarreal.
Emery's Villarreal, right? There's some personal battle going on in that match. Arsenal, right?
It's a homecoming.
So be very careful. I mean, next year Arteta could be on his way.
But I
Yeah,
would love to
Villarreal.
see the meltdown when Arteta loses to Unai Emery. Oh, it'll be so gorgeous just to see all the WhatsApp groups and Twitter and everything. It'll be so much fun, man. I'm just waiting for that. You won't get this content in the
Okay.
European Super League because you'll have your same 10 managers managing the same 10 clubs in turns. That's what will happen.
But Mourinho will come now. Then one of them has to shift to
He'll
the regular league.
Mourinho for the rest of his life would manage a super team, right? He'll keep moving within those.
Correct. I think the moment he manages a team, it becomes a super team. The only reason Spurs are in there, see, they
Yeah.
have no European history. Okay? They have no Premier League history also. They have no history. They only have Bale and Kane at the moment and Son to speak of. Right? Name any world-class player that they have.
You name the two at least. Or the three. Bale isn't world class anymore. But
That's it. So why are they anyway?
Again,
They're
you've
only
gone
there
back to
because
where we
Mourinho.
started the podcast. We're done with Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Vinay Joshi is saying PSG wins.
I
Okay.
would think
Thank you, Vinay.
I'm going for a City Madrid final in the Champions League and a Villarreal Roma final in the Europa League. Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Just jump. Let's talk about the Champions League, which actually matters. The league that will define. It doesn't even define anything in the future. It just, this will be the last of it. Who do you think will win the final Champions
PSG,
League?
what a heartwarming story. The underdogs from France.
See, the other three teams are anyway going to the Super League, right? So, is there a possibility that UEFA are already, as we speak, they're in a meeting, right? Is what I've read on Twitter. They're saying, let's go through all these press releases, let's see what's happening. And then clearly they'll come out and say, screw the rest. PSG, the only team which didn't go for that, we'll give you the award. We'll give you the award today. Let's finish it off. Wrap it up. Why do we need the games? जब कल खेलना नहीं है तो आज क्यों खेल?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Maybe bring back some of the clubs, like bring Bayern and Dortmund also back, no? Have it like a chalo. But Arsenal
also Champions League.
Top big six, yeah. You can't.
No, we'll drop the Premier League.
We're happy to be dropped out of the top 6.
Yeah, big six. It's not the top 6 anymore. They had to change the name because of Arsenal. Because Arsenal was never in the top 6. They had to make it the big 6. Cool. On that happy note, any final parting
Yeah,
notes?
I have one thing. The most magnificent, shocking result of this week has to do with Lyon, the women's side, who have won the last 4 Champions Leagues in a row. Have not lost in that tournament since 2016. They won 7 Champions Leagues in total. They have been knocked out of the tournament at the quarterfinal stage by PSG.
Oh, wow. PSG is winning every league.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations to Lyon for being so spectacular. Arsenal women was actually playing at the same time as, I think, half an hour after the Arsenal game started. Arsenal women were 4-0 in the first 16 minutes. They finished the game 10-0. For some reason, I'm watching Arsenal play Fulham in the 96th minute, 1-0 down. I could be really happy on one side watching women score 10 goals as opposed to have to watch Fulham score a penalty, the only way they could ever score a goal. And Ryan has to come up to head the ball for the goal.
But considering you mentioned the WSL, one more plug if people are keen. The Arsenal are third there. The title is between City and Chelsea, who are the top 2 in the league. And I think this Wednesday is their head-to-head clash at 10:30. So I think you can go online and check it out. That should be fun because that's basically will probably determine who wins them.
So does Arsenal go up? If
but Arsenal are 12 points off first place, which is Chelsea, and 10 points off City. So there's no way.
So if they lose, can they get -6 each? Is there that provision? I want to make a women's Super League.
So, but then that's there. So that's competitive and fun. That's all. I just want to say Lyon lost because that's absolutely shocking.
Yeah, that is shocking. Sapre, any other shocking facts before?
No, we're good. Yeah, too many shocks upcoming.
Fantastic. So this was Golmaal again. A lot of chatter. Of course, there's a lot of games
I would recommend
in the week.
One thread on Twitter. Go look for type European Super League in WWE storylines. Yeah, and that thread, it is absolutely hilarious.
I have seen Hazard and Lacazette fight for 1 year of KFC. There is basically, I think it was, I don't remember who it was. It was Big Show. And what is the other guy's name? The big guy.
Mark Henry.
Chocolate. Mark Henry. So he's giving him, I think it's a suplex. I think anything they give each other is a suplex. And then the whole ring breaks. And then, remind me, what's the name of the referee? The same one and only. Hebner. So all of them basically fall in the ring crashes, and that reminded me of Arsenal season. But I second that. Fantastic thread. Just go look for it.
It has Brock Lesnar telling Marcus Rashford, I don't care about your kids.
Can you just tweet it?
He's technically not telling Marcus Rashford. He's telling someone else. But you get when you go and check out the thread.
I think you need a little more context. Don't just take Karthik at his word. He does care about kids in general. He's not this person he pretends to be. He's a nice guy. Anyway, on that note, we are 3 nice guys saying bye. Hope you enjoyed this episode. tweet to us using Football if you have any questions. No FPL this week because we are as lost as you are. We will come back next week, same time, maybe a different day, but you'll find out. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun on Twitter and Instagram. That's Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle.
If you want to reach out to me, I am Sapre on Twitter and GSapre on Instagram.
You can reach out to me at iRant, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Should Ball. Recognize.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with Postcards from Nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website or wherever you get your podcast from.
पेश खिदमत है आपकी शान में हमारे अंजुमन से. Hi, I am Sadaf.
And I'm Arshit. खाने का इतिहास, economics, policy, psychology, सब है मेन्यू पे.
Only on the Naan Curry podcast every Wednesday. सिर्फ IVM Podcast ऐप या वेबसाइट पर या फिर जहां से भी आप अपने पॉडकास्ट सुनते हो.